we've discussed bringing architects together and bringing students together who can formulate a common position and share basic knowledge and basic strategies about how they might go about dealing with climate change. Here at Museo Experimental El Eco, we've done a few conversations in which we invite architects and climate experts to discuss what can be done from architecture, from the perspective of architecture, and they've been extremely illuminating. So it's very, very common for architects to think that the vernacular holds all the solutions for the present. A lot of our conversations on vernacular architecture will benefit from putting to the side this romantic notion of what vernacular architecture is and should be. You know, we should stop seeing vernacular architecture in black and white photos and with all local organic materials, and realize that it's much more complex than that, and that it has a logic of its own that responds to the site where it's at, and that is changing all the time. What I would bring from vernacular architecture in hot climates to contemporary urban contexts in Mexico is the practice in vernacular architecture of using whatever is at hand in a very expedient manner to solve a given problem. We need solutions that are accessible, immediate, and have been proven in contexts similar to the ones we live in or that we will soon live in. There's a way in which cities will transform as a consequence of climate change that doesn't have much to do necessarily with the ways buildings are built and configured. And it has a lot to do with the people who will arrive in those cities. We're seeing it already. A lot of migrants and refugees who are arriving in Mexico or who are trying to reach the US or Canada are coming from all over the world, and they're coming from conflict areas, but they are also coming from places where climate change has devastated entire regions of their home countries. So this entire parallel system has emerged that is giving them temporary shelter, that is giving them temporary food, that is giving them services that will allow them to find a job, to follow a legal process to become refugees in this country. So this whole very complex infrastructure is emerging. These people are coming from, you would think that people in Mexico are coming as they historically have come from Honduras or El Salvador, but now there are hundreds of, if not thousands of people who are arriving here from Pakistan after the floods. Because migrants find a way to whatever place might become safe, even if temporarily. So this new form, new types of services are congregating in shelters that welcome migrants and that then help them settle in the cities. And this is transforming some historic neighborhoods very rapidly. You have aging populations, you have former workers' neighborhoods that are now practically empty and are now being repopulated by these new communities who are bringing in new ways of living, but also new ways of building, new ways of understanding how urban space works. So I see this happening in Mexico, and different countries will have different ways of dealing with it, but this will certainly be part of the transformations that we experience through climate change.